Hello, friends, and welcome. Let's start our class today with a prayer together. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, friend, beloved God, great gurus, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Layari Mahashaya, Swami Sri Yukteswarji, beloved Guru Deva, Paramahansa Yogananda Ji, saints of all religions, we bow at thy feet. Divine Mother, help us to open our hearts to thy beauty. We want to love thee ever more perfectly. Receive our love and devotion. Bless us as we open ourselves more and more deeply to thee. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Welcome to Springtime at Ananda. And we'll start with a song and then a video clip of Swamiji, and then we'll progress onward. Thank you again for listening. Welcome.
You devas of woodlands, of mountains and field, come shower on us blessings and light. The wonders that nature befriended can yield, reveal to our hearing and sight. Your melodies whispering joy on the air, affirm that God's everywhere. O devas of woodlands, of mountains and field, be with us in blessing this night. You devas of woodlands, of mountain and field, come shower on us blessings and light. The wonders that nature befriended can yield, reveal to our hearing and sight. Your melodies whispering joy on the air, affirm that God's everywhere. O devas of woodland, of mountain and field, be with us in blessing this night. People who just can feel, apart from the fact that most of them don't feel right, but if they do, it still isn't enough. Passively to perceive is not what this age is all about. I'm not saying it's wrong in itself, but the energy of this age, the vibration of this age, is an impulse toward a new kind of achievement that includes the feelings of the heart. And that's why the arts are so important. Feeling begins in the heart. Feeling needs to be directed toward the point between the eyebrows, beyond the intellect. It needs to be directed through the intellect, however. As Yogananda said, that devotion needs to be kept in a state of reason, or it becomes emotional. Now there's the problem with feeling altogether. Most people feel things, but they feel them on an emotional level. Emotion means likes and dislikes, ups and downs. You feel great one day and down the next. I love this and I hate that. You don't ever get clarity that way. That's why scientists say exclude your feelings when you're trying to do something. But really, you have to have feeling, and great scientists do. It's absolutely wonderful. In the recent Clarity magazine, Ken Atwell wrote a beautiful article, very well written and very well done, on the life of Luther Burbank, in which he felt the flowers. He had an uncanny ability to feel which flower would flourish and which wouldn't. He would go down a line of vegetables and say, keep this one, destroy this, keep this, destroy that. And out of a lot of them, he would keep a few and throw the rest out. And a friend of his said, well, how do you know? He said, I'd rather than see these destroyed. Let me have them. I'll try to do something with them. So he took them and planted them. They didn't grow. Whereas the ones Burbank had said would grow, did grow. Well, this was, of course, the great objection of scientists to Luther Burbank's work. They couldn't replicate it. He had more than just analytical ability. He could commune with the flowers. He could feel something. Now that's something you can't get in school. And true creativity of any kind, true artistry, you can't get it in school. How many thousands of graduates are there from art school every year, and how few go on to become good artists, what to speak of great ones? And most of the great ones never even bother to learn, because the real understanding comes from inside.
Welcome again, friends. I'd like to start with a couple of quotes that I found on flowers. The earth laughs in flowers, Ralph Waldo Emerson said. And I perhaps owe having become a painter to flowers, Monet said. And flowers are the smiles of God's goodness, Saint Teresa of Lisieux. And flowers are the alphabets of angels, whereby they write on the hills and fields mysterious truths, Saint Francis of Assisi. And finally, from Master, God uses the flowers to say, I love you. Isn't that beautiful? And on flowers and their effect on the brain, research has shown that having beautiful blooms around triggers happy emotions and helps lift feelings of depression and anxiety. Whether it's in an outdoor garden or in your home or going to a visit to a botanical garden, simply being around flowers can lift our spirits, increase happy emotions, improve social behavior, and encourage feelings of satisfaction. Overall, flowers have a powerful influence on the brain, promoting positive emotions, improving cognitive function, and contributing to overall well-being. Whether through sight, smell, or touch, the presence of flowers can have an overall effect on our mental health and quality of life. And finally, from this beautiful book, The New Path by Master, a wonderful story I'd like to share before my talk. Master's sensitivity to all living things inspired sensitivity from them in return. Not only people and animals, but even plants seemed to respond to his feeling for them. His gardens flourished. Shraddha Mata, one of the disciples, told of watching one day when she called what she called a rose devotee, which kept turning in its vase to face Master as he moved about the room. When he was sitting in his chair, she noted that the rose was facing him. Twice, however, when he was called to the door, she noted the rose facing in that direction. "Sir," she said finally, "you have a new devotee." Isn't that beautiful? And I'm staying here, as you know, at heaven on earth, really, at the Crystal Hermitage, at the gardens that Swami Kriyanandaji created through the help of the devotees here. And it really is an astral paradise. People come, they feel something, they smell the flowers, they see the flowers, and it really takes them on another level of consciousness and awareness. And I was thinking of people always like to get out in nature to many beautiful places. You go out to gardens, or you go to the ocean, or a waterfall, or a forest, or this is just very natural that people want to experience something more than being in an office, being at the house, because it gives you a sense of openness, of peace, of light, of beauty, of love. And at now I was thinking of all the places I've gone to in my life of beauty, like Yosemite National Park, and in India, the Mughal Gardens, and the Pinch and Kana Natural Reserves, and so many beautiful places in South Africa, the Kruger Park, and then Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe. And they just give you an aspect that we don't get in everyday life. And so now I'm here at these beautiful gardens at the Crystal Hermitage, and they were started by Swami Kriyanandaji. Not one class is given, not one lecture. They're for everyone, people of all races, all backgrounds, all ages, all types of people come because they feel something. They don't really know quite what it is. They know it's nature. You heard Swamiji's song about the devas. I certainly feel very uplifted being there, but there's something that draws people. Swamiji started the gardens some time back. I just heard today that in the 80s, Swamiji, 1980s, he was in Bali, and he liked the terrace, the way that they terraced the land. So he came back and told some of the people here that he would like that at the Crystal Hermitage. It was just a wild forest over there, and they thought, my God, this is a high order. But they figured it out, and they terraced the hillside very beautifully. Now, that was in the 1980s. And then Swamiji had gone to Europe to see tulip gardens, and he came back and he said, this would be so beautiful. Now, mind you, he only saw the tulip gardens once in his whole life. He didn't come back again and again, meaning it wasn't, the gardens weren't for him. He made them as an expression of God, as a way that people could come and have a feeling for God. And so at the beginning, they weren't open to the public. It was just beautiful for people coming here. And over the past 10 or 12 years now, they've been open to the public. And last year, I believe there were 13 or 14,000 people who came here over the course of 6 weeks, I believe it was, through April and the middle of May. Swamiji wanted to focus on tulips. Tulips are so beautiful. There's so many colors of tulips there. We'll show you at the end of the program today. But they close up at night. I don't know if you'll see them. I don't know if you know much about tulips, but as I was coming to class, it's nighttime here. They were all just closed, and I just said, hello, hello, you're so beautiful. And they're all colors, they're 17,000. First year was 17,000. Then it went to 19,000 tulips. I mean, this is 2 years ago. Last year, 19,000. Now there's 21,000 tulips, meaning there are devas everywhere. And there's a beautiful murti of Babaji right in the midst of the gardens. And there's also the Moksha Mandir, the final resting place for Swamiji. And there's a chapel where people come to pray, and it's just very beautiful grounds. Now, people come, they come with their families. There's a lot of children who come and they're romping around. There's elderly people, there's people of all ages coming. Some people come alone, some people come as couples, some people come as a family, there are groups. There was the Rotary Club last night, there was a hospital group, there was a dentist group, it has caught on that at Ananda village, not only are there beautiful flowers, but they're beautiful people who are like those flowers. And people come not just for the flowers, they come because of kindness. They come because people put out love and energy towards them. They come here and they sit for some time, they enjoy, they go back home or they go back to work. Some people have come every year since it was open. Some people come every week while it's open. Some people come several times during the week because they feel something. And I have a few stories of what people have experienced there that the gardeners have told me. One is a man who comes regularly every year, and he's got on heavy duty, leathery clothes and, just kind of wild looking and heavy jewelry. And they asked him, they said, well, now why do you come? He says, well, I feel peace. He just comes in the garden and he sits there by himself to feel peace. I believe everybody who comes, and I've talked to many of them, how are you? Are you having a good time? Have you come here before? I remember one lady asked me, she says, oh, are you visiting too? I said, well, I came here in 1978 for the first time. I've been living here. Let me take your hand. I'm so privileged to meet anybody who would be living here. People are so open, and this man was so open. And then today there was a car club that came. There were 18, I don't know if you know this car, an antique car, like a vintage Corvette. They're all driving their cars, and they came into the community and all were parked together, but very nice people, but they brought their car club here. They heard about it. It's not like, no, we're not going up there. It's too nice. We don't want to see flowers. Everybody wants to see the flowers, let's face it. And then there's a lady who works for Pacific, well, you wouldn't understand that, but a gas electric company. And she comes a lot at her break. She has business around in this area, and she just wants to enjoy the gardens. And then there was a religious group who came. This time, I believe, this time around, and an infant child had died. And the congregation, there were about 20 of them or so, they came to just pray in the Moksha Mandir. And it wasn't arranged or anything. They had no appointment, but they just came. And they stayed in there for quite some time just praying. So people come also to pray. People come who have ailments. People come, somebody who just passed away. People come who are having problems. And you just see the faces. Just when they leave here, they just look so different. You've got to know the masters are blessing them, taking away the pains and sorrows. And one man came and he was so upset because of his registration didn't work out for coming here. And he was just very upset with the people at the registration table. And why didn't you do it? And yelling. And he came down in the gardens, and then he got changed. And when he left, he just said, please accept my apology. You all, whoever's living here and doing this, I just basically said, I just bow to you. Please accept my apology. I was so out of line. Now, what happened to him? He was not here that long, but he came in and he just was blessed. And I met an elderly man who just said, I'm just so happy to be here. How many days do you have? He doesn't know how many days he had, but he wanted to come. And finally, a group of special children came, with special needs children, with their teacher. And this was last year. And the little kids, I mean, they just love it. I think they see more than anybody else. I think the children are just feeling and seeing angels. But this little guy told his teacher, you just don't know how happy I am to be here. So touching. And those children, I'm sure they were blessed. So we've got to know, ask yourself, is it only the flowers? Swamiji created a way that anybody could come and not be lectured to, but just come and feel love. Master said you feel love through the flowers. And I think that's why people come again and again and again. Their hearts are touched. I see them. I'm living there where the tulips are. I see people there every day. They're just coming, they sit with a friend, or they hold hands, or they just everybody's got a phone camera. Everybody's taking pictures, and some people are dressed up, and this group came in their native outfit. So just very interesting just to take pictures amongst the flowers. And it's very, very special. It's not just a garden. I think it's a glimpse into the astral realms. That's what Swamiji created. And he created for all of us. So I like to close with this quote from Master, then we'll see some flowers. He says here, the majority of the innumerable astral entities, whom we might call nature spirits or devas, thrive on love and give us more energy if we offered them our love and appreciation. I was remembering Swamiji said to Deviji, she said to him once, Swamiji, the flowers at the end of the day, it was the end of the day, she said, they're just as fresh as in the morning. He said, of course, they've been admired all day. What a wonderful thought. The master says, if they feel unloved and ignored, they withdraw in much the same way people do with their expressions of goodwill when their expressions are misunderstood. The more love we give out, the more all things respond, reciprocating our feelings with harmony and abundance. Finally, all nature that we behold is the mother aspect of God, because in nature we find beauty, gentleness, kindness. The flowers, birds, and beauties of nature all speak of the mother aspect of God. Plants, Master said, have a degree of consciousness. Above all, like every sentient being, they respond to love. I'll ask Nitendra to join me on the screen now.
Thank you so much, Dhanaji, for sharing these insights. We have a few questions. The first one,
Okay.
Dhanaji, is most of us live in cities. So, what is the best way for us to commune and talk with nature?
I would say to get outside. And I know a lot of people just stay at their desk all day or stay at home all day, and it's not healthy. I mean, we need to be out in the fresh air, as fresh as it can be, in the sun, among plants, among flowers. So there are parks at different places. And then when you take a vacation, get out of the city. Like I know some of you have gone to Babaji's cave. Some people go other places in the Himalayas. Some people go to Goa. You just need to get out in nature. Make the effort to get out in nature. Don't say, "Well, just stay home and watch television." That's not healthy. So the body needs, and the eyes. I mean, when I came here, just driving up to Ananda village, I just got the color green. Because all the hillsides were green because it's springtime. I said, just so healing. So it's healing. It's not only that, oh, it looks nice and it's a garden. It's healing. And like when I go to Lodi Garden, I see some people there, and I've done it myself, I have to admit, hugging a tree. I mean, why not? And sometimes I take my shoes off and I walk on the earth. Some people never put their foot on the earth. Wow. Try it sometimes. You find that there's a lot of energy that's trying to give you. Yeah. More?
Yes, Dhanaji, the next question was actually, do these flowers and nature have healing powers?
Healing. I think if you open yourself, like that reading, some people aren't open, so they don't know anything's going on. But if you open yourself, surely you find. I mean, I love having flowers around, just cut flowers in the house and plants. And there's been so many experiments with plants. We don't have time to go into that today, but plants give out a lot of energy, and they clean the air, and trees clean the air. And yes, very much so healing. When you go to the ocean, you put your feet in the water on the sand, you've got to feel something. There's healing vibrations in nature.
Thank you, Dhanaji. One last question. What goes behind the scenes in creating such a wonderful place that we'll see in the videos? And do these flowers just grow on their own that you were talking about?
Well, all I can say is I've seen the green team, they call them over there. They're there all the time, taking care of the gardens and planting over the time when the flower, planting the bulbs for the tulips and taking care of the gardens. And now they're there every day. And, there's a lot of, what I want to say is mainly love. Of course, there's a lot of work to it, but they're doing it out of a spirit of love and devotion. Now, that's what you feel over there, because you can grow tulips, but it's a different vibe. Some people have plants and their plants are just boom, other people have the same plant and it's shrunk down. So I think the people over there, they love the gardens. They're doing it out of devotion to God and gurus and Swamiji. And I think, honestly, I'm not psychic, but you sense there's more going on than meets the eye. I think there's some wonderful energies there. Yeah, so the plants don't grow on their own. You can throw a seed in the ground and hope it's going to work, but you got to put energy into it, like anything. Then
Those were the questions we had.
that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see the slideshow. We'll see it from this end. I think it's a rather video.
It's Tuesday, May 16th here at Crystal Hermitage Gardens for Springtime at Ananda Tulip Watch. The gardens are looking spectacular. The weather is perfect. It's sunny with a little tiny bit of a breeze to keep you cool. People are coming in. It's stupendous, spectacular. We're just starting to get some colour on the wisteria on the top now. It's going to be more and more each day. Everything's out. We look forward to sharing the beauty and bliss of this garden with you in these coming weeks. These next 2 weeks are spectacular. Super boom. We'll see you soon. For our Tuesday, April 16th Tulip Watch. We haven't done an evening Tulip Watch yet, and it's just so beautiful here in the canyon. Ruksha Mandir, you can see the dogwood just by the mandir. It's just so spectacular. So this is the week for sure, and the weekend and next week. White flowering cherry blossom looks beautiful in the evening on the video. So does the pink flowering cherry blossom coming into full bloom. This is glorious. So the magic is here. Come and see us. It is beyond spectacular.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Nitendra. God bless you.